And welcome back, YouTube. This is Boosterbox Buster here with another video. Today I got for you my Final Fantasy Creatures Archive Chromium, aka Final Fantasy Creatures Volume 5 Collection Showcase. This particular set focuses on Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2, 11, and for the first time in the series, we also have Crystal Chronicles represented. The GameCube exclusive game at the time. We have 10 different miniatures to go over, and this is representing the entire full color set, with a couple of non-full colors that I'm also going to throw in because there's a particular miniature from the set that I absolutely love, and I had to have all three variants. With all that information out of the way, let's hop right into this. So first up, representing the lone Final Fantasy VIII creature from this particular set, we have the lovely Phoenix. Now, Final Fantasy VIII, the Phoenix summon was actually not an obtainable summon. It was actually an item summon that you can only get by using the Phoenix Pinion in the game. And here is the illustrator's card. Very beautiful, if I do say so myself. And here is the instructions on how to build the said Phoenix. Now I gotta say, this is an absolutely beautiful miniature. All the different colors, very rainbow-esque, very beautiful. Going from the red, the orange, to the yellow. Very lovely, and of course you got the face right there. Very nice. And the iconic three tails of the Final Fantasy VIII's Phoenix, with the additional three, almost like braids that are coming off of its backside there too. Very beautiful, colorful miniature to add to your collection. And I love this little, almost like a reddish clear, almost to be like it's blazing a trail of fire as it's lifting into the sky. Such a beautiful miniature. And that represents the lone Final Fantasy VIII miniature from this particular set. And geez, why does it go all out of focus so easily? There we go. We're back in focus. Up next, representing Final Fantasy XI. Don't worry, I'm jumping around a little bit this time. We have Ramu. Now, once again, as I said previously, I don't know too much about 11, but I did look this guy up just to see a little bit about him, and he does actually seem like a really cool encounter in that game. Almost like a really cool boss that you can challenge. I really like the black and purple robe that he's wearing. Absolutely beautiful miniature there. The dark wings. His staff is all bent out of shape, but with the way he's posed, it's really hard to get it straight, unfortunately. And then, of course, his long, flowing beard and hair to represent that he is indeed a mage. And here is his collector's card to go with him. That is Ramu, featuring Final Fantasy XI. But that's not the only Final Fantasy XI miniature that we have. We also have, in the early days, what used to be considered a very challenging boss. However, as time went on, it became a very mundane and easy boss to face in 11, from what I've heard. And that's Fafnir. The really cool dragon. This could easily be used in Dungeons and Dragons as a dragon foreboding miniature. Easily be used as that. Here's his collector's card. We got the red wings. Let me see if I can just get it to focus here real quick. There we go. The just the bleak ground that he's standing on. The bones protruding from his back, so cool. And his face with that I almost would call it like a headdress of bones sticking out. Such a cool miniature. Really cool looking dragon. I'd say it puts a lot of the dragons from the actual Dungeons and Dragons miniature line to shame. That's Fafnir. And 100 times better than that dark dragon from the previous video that I'm not going to talk about here. Alright, so that's the ones that represent Final Fantasy XI. Now we're going to go and take a trip to Final Fantasy X. And you could say this is 10 or 10-2 because I believe pretty much the same model was used for both, but it is representing 10 in this particular instance. And that is the Iron Giant. Such an iconic boss and monster encounter from the actual game itself. Like, when you think of 10, when you think of Iron Giant, you think of the one from 10 just because it's such an iconic image. The ground from the, I believe the lightning field, that's where you encountered him at. The giant, oversized sword. The little headdress, all the ornate pieces to the armor there. Such a cool miniature. And of course there's the backside of it. And this could easily be used as like a assembled iron golem to the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures as well. And here is his collector's card. Such a cool miniature. I really do like this one. And that is the lone one from 10. We do have some from 10-2 coming up, though. Alright, speaking of 10-2... So I believe the name that they have on this card translated incorrectly. But I know who this is, so. So this is the, on the card it's listed as Taru, but in the game it's the boss that you fight. It's the optional boss that you could fight in the desert. Such a cool looking boss. Look at that. The spikes coming out of his back. The one hand, and it is only supposed to have one hand. It's not dual-handed. You got the little piece right there. The giant skull face. Looks something like off of a heavy metal covers. Just so cool looking. There's his collector's card. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I did fight this boss, but I just don't remember this particular boss from 10-2. I know it was the one that was in the desert. I just don't remember him. So cool looking. The optional boss fight from the desert in 10-2. And then sticking with 10-2, we're going full on heavy metal or energy drink. Because we got Pain's Full Throttle Dress. This is really, really cool. I really do like this. You got the all the energy flowing behind it, almost like a clockwork. You got like the heavy metal bird exoskeleton going on here, protecting Pain in the center there. You can actually see Pain right there. Yeah, all the like little etched work going into the actual mech. Just so much detail in this little miniature. It's so cool looking. And here's, of course, the full throttle card to go with it. That is Pain Full Throttle Mode. Trying to move them around so I could have enough room to display a couple more. Ah, he fell. Not that far. Okay, there we go, that's good. And then up next, okay, got all wacky too. Come on. La-da-do-do-do-do-do. Yep. It's really liking me right now. Better. 5. Better. Wow, it is really not liking that setup right now. Pain really ruined it. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So now we're going to go to the one I'm not too familiar with. I played Crystal Chronicles, I have it, but I don't understand why they exactly went with this particular miniature. And that is the Giant Crab from Crystal Chronicles. I gotta say, I love the base that they chose for it. It's like this watery base with this orb that it's trying to protect. I do really like the base. The ugliness of the crab, the giantness of it, the oversized claw with all the past victims that it took down with all the weapons sticking out of it, and the what would it, is that like a mushroom? Yeah, almost like a mushroom, maybe some sort of fungus or coral growing out of its back there. Just a really cool miniature. I'm not super familiar with Crystal Chronicles. Like I said, I played it, but I never really got that far into it because I was only ever played by myself, and nobody ever... It's meant to be a game to be played with multiple people, and nobody ever wanted to play it, so... They just wanted to play Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart. Nobody ever wanted to play Crystal Chronicles. So yeah, I never really got to play it the way it was intended to play. Which... When you're given the choice of Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario Kart, or Super Smash Bros. Versus Crystal Chronicles, you're gonna go with one of the former versus Crystal Chronicles. So I can understand that. But yeah, Giant Crab from Crystal Chronicles. I'm a bit disappointed because I could have went with so many other options besides Giant Crab. You know, you could have gone... You could have chose another summoning from 8 that didn't get chose. You could have gone with Emerald Weapon. You know, there were so many other options that they just could have gone with instead of a Giant Crab. Oh, here's this collector's card, by the way. And now we reached the final 3 miniatures. And representing our first one from Final Fantasy IX, we have Black Waltz 1 and 2. In the previous, one of the previous ones, I believe in the very first set, they actually gave us Black Waltz number 3. And now they decided to give us 1 and 2 in a nice little combo set. And I gotta say, I actually like that. It kills 2 birds with 1 stone instead of having to separate them, because 1 and 2 are very, very much tied together. They gave us it in a nice little combo piece. I like the little gravestone that it's standing on. This one's you get like the little bust version of this one, and then you actually get the full version of the other waltz, which is really cool. The little hats are just really awesome. I do really like the little differences that they have with them. It's Black Waltz 1 and 2 from Final Fantasy IX. Such a cool mini. I don't have any extra rooms, so, well, maybe. Maybe. Nah, I'm not gonna risk it. Just gonna put it to the side. And then, the other miniature from Final Fantasy IX is Nova Dragon. The long-speared nose dragon that you had to fight by going, I believe, into like a huge flying army of them, and then this is the one that you ended up having to fight. So cool. The white wings with the red tips, it's so subtle but so nice. I love all the little detail that they put in the closer you get to the body there, and on the body itself, all the scaling. Just so cool. The long nose, which is a really iconic part of the monster itself. The little, like, spear on the chin. Almost like a goatee. Just such a cool miniature. And I love the pose that it's in, too. It's in the actual pose that you first meet it in the battle. Such a cool miniature. And just to kind of show you all sides of it, you even got the underbelly colored, which you're not even really going to see when you're looking at the miniature in the right pose, so the fact that they paid that much attention to detail is really nice for this miniature, and that is Nova Dragon. So, I'm going to clear some space because we have a very important miniature coming up here, and I want to make sure I have room to display it. So, the 10th and final miniature of this set is none other than Savior or Safer Sephiroth. That's right. One of the most iconic villains and probably the most recognizable boss theme song to any villain in any video game in the history of video games finally had merchandise made for him. My absolute favorite all-time boss, hands down, is Safer Sephiroth. The wings, the music, the most over-the-top final or ultimate attack in any video game ever. Just such an iconic piece of video game history right here. But let's just take a look at him. You got the orbiting ring halo at the bottom here. You have the multicolored wings that he descends down upon. You have his halo-like circle going on behind here. His green, or his wing that goes from green to this translucent blue and almost like orange. The shirtless Sephiroth, and of course the iconic silver hair flying back into the energy. just such an iconic boss in miniature here. And I gotta say, I am very surprised that Sephiroth has never had any additional merchandise besides this miniature. This one would be one. If SquareEnix were to make an actual, like, scale miniature, like I'm talking anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4, it would sell out because that's how many people love Sephiroth as an iconic villain. I would buy one, unless it was like a stupid high price. I would buy one because that's how much this video game boss means to me. It is my childhood. It is, when I think of video games, when I think of RPGs, this is the boss. This is the character that I think of. I'm playing the One Wing Angel song in my head as I'm telling you this information. It is just such an amazing miniature. And I'm very happy to own it. And of course, this is by far the most sought after miniature in the entire Final Fantasy Creatures line. And here is the metallic version of Sephiroth. And even though I don't care for the crystal versions all that much, I even have the crystal version of Sephiroth. That is how much this particular boss, this particular character, this particular iconic piece of video game history means to me. I have all three versions, and I proudly display all three variants of this boss. And I even have a card for each variant. Unfortunately, they don't show the different variants on the card. They only use the full color image for the card itself. But yes, with all that said, this is the entire full color version, or full color set of the Final Fantasy Volume 5, or Final Fantasy Creatures Archive Chromium set. You guys obviously know which one my favorite is. However, if I were to remove Sephiroth and choose a different miniature, I would probably have to go with the Iron Giant, just because it's just so cool looking. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite miniature is from this set. I think I know what most people are going to say, even though almost nobody comments on these videos. And there will be, I do want to make 2 more pieces to this particular line. I want to make one on the fan books, and then I want to do one showcasing the entire collection, where all I do is show the miniature itself, and then maybe play some Final Fantasy music in the background. And then, but yeah, I'll show the miniature, I'll say the name, and then I'll just play some music, and that's all the vocals that you'll get from me. Let me know in the comments down below if you would be interested in that type of video. But I definitely want to make one for the Creature fan books in the future. Until next time, this is Buster. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see future content like this. And if you want to check out a past video, it should either have popped up already or will be popping up very soon. Anyway, this is Buster. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm signing out. Peace.